Mike Bond here at UFC 241 Media Day with Daniel Cormier, who is not only the heavyweight champion of the world, but has a hell of a fastball. I saw throwing out the first pitch last night. This was amazing stuff.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I just threw it. I was just throwing it and hoping for the best, but it worked. It actually worked.
Did you do practice runs there?
No, I actually got to do no practice, which was crazy. I was worried I was going to short hop it, but it made it all the way to the plate.
Seems like all the players from the team embraced you a lot.
They were real nice to me. I mean, all the guys were nice. They all knew fighting, and they were all big fans. It was awesome.
Do you notice that across other sports when you interact with other athletes that they not only know who you are, but maybe appreciate your accomplishments and what you've done?
Yeah, and they're very aware, because I think ultimately everybody wants to fight, right? If I could fight, I would fight, So I think because they all want to fight, and I just feel like, honestly, being the heavyweight champion of the world is even different than being light heavyweight champion of the world. I swear, it just feels different in the way people approach you.
Yeah, it just has that allure to it, right? Even from the boxing days and everything.
Absolutely. When people go, he's the heavyweight champion of the world, it's immediate, it's a bad dude.
I mean, you're talking about maybe potentially this being the last fight, the next one being the last fight. Is it hard to let go of that, not only the belt and the being at the top of the mountain, but that title, the prestige that comes with it?
I think, Mike, what's going to be the most difficult for me is that I'm going to have to let go when I can still compete, right? Worst case scenario, if I was to lose Stipe this weekend, I could go, I want a rematch, and I'd probably get it immediately. Yeah. But if I lose, that probably would mean that I'm probably getting close to being done, or I could win, and I could be like, man, I'm going to go on to the next dude, and then eventually somebody's going to get you, So do you get shown the door, or do you choose when you make your exit? I want to be the guy that decides. I want to be like George St. Pierre. George went out on his own terms.
It's like the opposite of what Chael Sonnen said, right? He would say, all your favorite are going to go out on their back or on their face.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of our greatest champions go out like that, knocked out, and it sucks.
100%. Of course, that's not your plan, though. You go in there. The rematch with Stipe, what elements do you consider, differently going into the second fight compared to the first, especially, having the field, knowing, maybe his weight that he carries, all those kind of elements?
I think that he's going to make some adjustments. I believe that when I watch Stipe, you can go back very far in his career, and he does a lot of things really well, and those things that he does really well are what's carried him this whole time. So I don't imagine he would change those things much. So you look at a guy that almost seems like the finished product and see what can he change. And I've made him, in my mind, so good, it's insane.
So what happens in this fight? How does it look different than the first one?
This fight, I think, I believe in this fight he's going to be much more tough. But I think in this fight, if I can dominate him in the way that I've dominated all heavyweight competition, people will then be truly understand why. And over the course of my 15 heavyweight fights, one judge has given one person one round. One judge gave Josh Barnett a round against me. That would be the only round I've ever lost at heavyweight. So I think if I can dominate Stipe in the way that I intend to, people will be like, okay, we understand who DC is at this weight class.
How big is this fight going to be on Saturday? Not only because of your fight, but, man, Nate Diaz, Anthony Pettis, everything we put out on them is clicking crazy. Yeah. Your fight, too. I mean, is this going to be, do you think, one of your more successful pay-per-views?
Yeah, this will be a great pay-per-view. Nate Diaz is a massive star. And when they told me he was going to be in the co-main event, I was excited. I was really excited. Thanks, Nate. Thanks, Anthony, Romero, Costa. This is going to be a fantastic card.
100%. And of course, you win here, everyone's going to be asking you about John Jones and everything. I'm curious, you don't want to fight him at heavyweight. He doesn't seem to want to fight at heavyweight. Why does it matter too much to you? If you beat him, whether it's 205, middleweight, heavyweight, it doesn't matter. People are going to look at your record and see you beat him. Why does it matter which weight it is?
Just because he beat me there. I want to win I want to win under the same rules that I lost under. And the rules was weighing at the 205-pound limit. And if I was to do it again, it would have to be under the same rules.
Fair enough. And one other thing I wanted to ask you, outside of your fight, a couple weeks coming up, we have your teammate, Khabib Nurmagomedov, fighting your fellow Louisianan, Dustin Poirier. If you can take yourself a step back out of being Khabib's teammate, break this fight down for us. We've been working closely with Dustin in the lead up to this fight, talking a lot to him throughout training camp.
It's a great fight. Khabib is, he's just a phenomenal fighter, man. 27-0. People make mistakes. People have hiccups, but he's never had that. But Dustin, I think, is in rare form. He's as good as he's ever been. This is going to be a great fight. Two guys that are at the top of their games, and I can't wait to watch it. It's a difficult one because you know Khabib, he's always on me. Oh, you're my teammate. Why don't you say you're in my corner? I'm in his corner. I'm in Khabib's corner. He's the leader of the new generation of AKA fighters, and I'm excited for him to go perform down in Abu Dhabi.
Last question. You win this fight in the fashion you want to win on Saturday night. What are the odds this is the last time we see Daniel Cormier enter the octagon?
I don't know. Again, I'm trying to live in the here and now, and I'm living in the here and now, and we'll see what happens.
I'll ask you again after the fight.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for the time, Daniel. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.